Hello and welcome to this very special visual novel. I'm Qa'Rajh and this is The Fruit of Grisaia, the first in the Grisaia trilogy. I've been really looking forward to being able to make these videos and play this visual novel, because for the visual novels I've read and seen played so far in my life, this has been my absolute favorite one. There is a lot to go on, so I'm not going to spoil anything really. I'm just going to play the story. I can say as much as this visual novel, unlike for example the Sakura novels, doesn't contain a whole lot of choices. The choices come very, very late in this story. So until then, it's really just a matter of getting down to viewing the story, enjoying the characters, and overall, just simply, I can really recommend this. I've played through this twice, and both times I've really been struck away by it. Yeah, if you can't get it for yourself. It's not that cheap because it's pretty long, and a bit about the settings that I'm running this on. Let's go in here. So, where would that be under? That would be under sound. Yeah. So, as you can see here, I have turned off the voices for the character. Now, the reason for that is that all the voices are in Japanese, and since I do not speak Japanese and only speak English and a couple of other languages, but that's not important for this one. I felt that it would ruin the spirit of me speaking English with the text in English, but their voices in Japanese going in over it. So I've removed that. Hopefully, the background music should be at a level where you can hear it, but where I'm still louder than the music. I think that's pretty much all there is to it. Enable playback of character voiced lines. Sure. That's a playback. That's a bit different. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So, without further ado, let's begin from the beginning. Intense sunlight blazes down on the road as if to declare the arrival of summer. The burning asphalt radiates heat, mixing with the scent of the tide from a thick, muggy atmosphere. It's way too early for this kind of weather, and when the temperature is abnormally high, you're always going to get some people who lose their heads and start acting erratically. In other words, it's only natural that the police would be on the lookout for suspicious types at times like these. It was about 10 minutes ago that I realized I'd been mistaken for one of those heat-stroke-addled sores. Name: Kazami Yuji. Address: Osato in Yamanashi Prefecture. Sweat pouring from his forehead as he examines my license, the policeman in front of me takes a glance at the large backpack I'm carrying, then continues the background check. You came here from Yamanashi? Yes. What business do you have in the city? Why lugging around that enormous bag? You headed anywhere in particular? I told you this 10 minutes ago. I'm moving. This luggage is everything I own. So, what's your new address? Like I said, I don't have one yet. The answer's not going to change no matter how many times you ask. You're moving, but you don't know where to. Look, what are you hiding? How about you just come clean already? Sorry, I just had to grab myself a bit of coffee. Where did you come from? Where are you going? What are you planning to do there? Depending on the context, these could be fairly philosophical questions, but as far as police inquiries go, they're pretty run-of-the-mill. From their perspective, anyone wandering around without a clear-cut business is by default a criminal of some sort. Let alone someone like me carrying around a conspicuous bulky luggage. It's as good as guaranteed that they'd stop me. That is their job, I suppose. Since this little scheme acts as a crime deterrent through its visibility, it's not an entirely wasted effort. But unfortunately, I don't have all day to play along. I drop a glance toward the digital watch I'm wearing around my left wrist. Sorry, but I'm keeping someone waiting. I really can't spare any more time for hanging out with bored cops. Are you mocking me? A bored police force is proof that the city's at peace. Take it as a compliment. Inexplicably taking offense at my tone, the policeman clicks his tongue in irritation and tosses my license back. Alright then, Kazami-san. Sorry for the inconvenience, but would you mind letting me take a look at that pack you're carrying? I refuse. Why? Something you don't want me to see in there? Knife, maybe? I don't rely on blades. Policy of mine. Look, are you really telling me to unpack all this on the spot? It'll take an hour at least. 30 minutes just to take it all out. 30 minutes to stuff it back in. In that case, let's head over to the station. No reason to stand around in the sun, right? I'll get you some cold tea and we can have a nice long chat. I just told you, I don't have the time. I can't accept voluntary questioning. I know you can't just back down in this situation, but if I say I'll head over there myself later, could we wrap this up for now? That's very convenient for you, but what guarantee do I have you'll ever show? At least give me an address if you want me to agree to that. As I've explained, I'm in the middle of a move. I vacated my old place, so I don't have an address. Then give me your parents' address, or are they homeless too? I don't have any parents. No siblings or relatives either. They are all dead. You serious? Are you sure you're not hiding something from me? This is going nowhere. Okay, so why don't we move things along? To the station, maybe? I'll call a patrol car. You just stay where you are, please. Then at least let me call the person I'm supposed to be meeting. At this rate, they'll be waiting all day. That's fine, but who are you meeting? A friend? I'm not going to tell you that. Someone you can't tell me about. It's your mother. We have an appointment at a hotel tonight. What? I was keeping quiet out of the goodness of my heart. You dragged it out of me, so don't blame me when your parents get divorced and your happy home is shattered. You watch your mouth. Kya? Huh? Okay, the game made the sound for me. I hope that was audible. It did a better job than I did at making a young woman scream. Kind of hurt my throat actually a bit. About 30 meters away from where we're talking, someone screams. A desperate cry follows within seconds. Thief! Somebody! A woman sits collapsed on the street, stretching out her hand. Her high heels lie on the ground, knocked off her feet by the sudden fall. Just about halfway between us, there's a man in a flashy Hawaiian shirt running in this direction. Shit! A cop! Although the thief flinches for a moment at the sight of the policeman's uniform, after a quick check for any convenient side streets, he barrels onward. Move it, asshole! Brandishing the stolen bag menacingly, his hand violently gestures out of my way. Huh? Stop right there! The cop is completely flustered. He's quite clearly unaccustomed to this sort of situation. While he's panicking, the distance between us and the thieves shrinks with surprising swiftness. Out of the way! The man runs in a straight line toward a breakthrough to freedom. I happen to be standing directly in the middle of his path. I said move, damn it! As he prepares to strike with the back, I ascertain the movement of his shoulder and arm from the first signs of motion, and hit his wrist sharply just as he begins to swim. The man's arm instantly stiffens and loses all momentum. His eyes pop wide open in shock. In case you were doubt that there's an action scene going on, this game is awesome with music like that. I immediately grab the collar of the Hawaiian shirt he's wearing and firmly draw him toward me. Before the man can offer a resistance to my pull, I smoothly reverse and use my body weight to shove against him. When pushed, just as they've begun to brace themselves against being pulled, anyone except a genuine expert is going to be thrown off balance. Nice shirt. Where'd you buy it? Yeah! Shock spreads across the man's face as his knees buckle against his will. I try to gain a chokehold using my grip on the neck, but... Bastard! The man promptly draws his head back and shifts his body to the side, preventing me from landing a hold on his neck. Although I expected as much from a glance at his build, it seems like he's somewhat experienced in judo. But... in this case, you would have been better off trying a decisive tackle. Rotating around the purse snatcher in the opposite direction of his slide, I yank his right arm upward with both hands. In one movement, I've circled to his back. Ah! Next, pull back on the opponent's wrist and elbow and pin him to the ground. This is just basic Aikido, by the way. Ow, 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 ow! Fucking asshole! Get off! I'll fucking kill you! Hey now, you've got your priorities all wrong. Before worrying about me, you should kill the guy who sold you that shirt. God damn it, goddamn kid! Perhaps unconsciously, the man's now empty right hand desperately slaps at the asphalt. While holding the thief pinned, I quickly shoot a look behind me. Don't just stand there. Yeah! The policeman jerks up straight in response to my angry shout, taking a pair of handcuffs from the pouch from around his waist. He runs over to restrain the criminal. The purse snatcher seems to have resigned himself to his fate and doesn't offer any pointless resistance. He accepts his red-handed arrest for the theft docilely and then sits quietly on the ground with his head hung as the policeman radios for backup. Apparently they weren't too far off, as a siren approaches in no time. Some of the sounds go for a bit long, and it's also because of the length of those sound bits and the voice actors. Now the main character Yuji Kasami isn't voice acted, which is why I'm going to be doing that. Two policemen get out of the arriving cruiser and push the criminal into the backseat. As I'm quietly watching the scene in perfect passivity, the policeman from earlier runs over. Thank you for your cooperation in the arrest. I'll pass on the letter of thanks, so how about letting me move on? We can't do that, I'm afraid. If possible, we'd like to have a detailed conversation at the station regarding both this incident and the previous matter. Figured as much. Shaking my head in exasperation, I silently rebuke myself. Should have just left it alone. As the policeman pushes at my back, I glance at my wristwatch, informs me that I'm already 5 minutes late for my meeting. Ooh. Look, you about ready to talk yet? 30 minutes have passed since I was brought to the interrogation room, familiar as the place where criminals break into flop sweat in TV dramas. I'm sitting on a cheap foldable pipe chair, my arms folded in perfect silence. How are we supposed to let you go if you don't respond to our questions? Weren't you supposed to meet someone? Shouldn't you just talk and get this over with? Instead of responding, I close my eyes, a silent statement indicating that I have absolutely no intention of opening my mouth. The detective clicks his tongue in exasperation at my attitude. I've got a pretty fair idea of what he'll be doing next. If you don't have anything to hide, talk! How long do you plan on remaining silent? The sound of something being struck and an even louder attempt at intimidation. This is the point where a timid guy would be jumping in his seat with his eyes wide open or maybe staring at the floor and quivering. As for me, my eyes are still shut and my arms are still folded quietly. My mind is a total blank. I've been accustomed to adults shouting at me like this since I was a child. Following the threat stage, the next step would be for him to grip my hair and jolt me back and forth. But I'm dealing with an official authority group here. I should get off without direct violence this time. Not to say that they won't pull out the old TV cliches and harass me by shining a disc lamp in my eyes or something of the sort. Sorry, I had to clear my throat there. I can roughly translate the detective side to goddamn kids these days. I gently opened my eyes in order to sneak a look at his disgusted face. The detective sitting in front of me seems to be challenging the Guinness World Record for most dramatic asymmetry between the left and right sides of a human mouth. Or maybe he's just scowling. When I let out a snort of laughter in response to the unexpectedly pleasant sight, the detective scratches his head violently and glares at me. Look, buddy, I don't know who you've been talking to, but playing dumb with the police isn't going to gain you anything, alright? It won't gain you anything, but you won't lose anything either. Except your time. I turn my gaze to the clock on the wall of the sweatbox. An hour has already passed since the scheduled time for my meeting. How about you respond when I'm speaking to you? The detective strikes the desk with an excellent comic timing. The best part is the way he knocks his ashtray off the table every time he does this. Oh, what the hell is your deal? His tone is distinctly fed up. He stoops down to pick the plastic tray off of the floor. Kasami Yuji, occupation student. Yes, you said that already, many times. We looked it up. You came from Yamanashi, right? No criminal background, no traffic violations or juvenile custody records, no accommodation or public record either. What kind of person has absolutely no data in the system? Your record is so clean it looks like someone been whiting it out. Just who the hell are you? Kazumi Yuji, occupation student. What's with that? Did someone tell you to only say that line if police caught you? Are you some sort of terrorist or what? Kazumi Yuji, occupation student. Shut up! Just shut up! First it's say something, now it's shut up. Talk about hard to please. Our capricious detective scowls yet again and scratches his head. Flakes of dandruff drift grandly through the air. That was a hard sentence. Based on his thoroughly wrinkled suit and heavy stubble, I'd say he hasn't been home in days. Look, cut me a break here. Put yourself in my shoes for a second. Another sigh. It's enough to make me want to heave one myself. Because we both take our work seriously, it seems we're going to be stuck going around in circles. We sure picked up a royal pain in the ass this time. The investigation of that Perch Nasher case isn't going smoothly either. Thanks so much for dropping that on our lap, by the way. Just as we roughly complete this exchange of one-sided bitterness and mutual glaring, there's a well-timed knock at the door and the sound of it being unlocked. Yes, hello, sir. A slight, plump, elderly detective enters the room. Given the respectful tone of the detective I've been chatting with, he's probably a superior of some sort. Is something the... Oh, well, huh? After a quick glance in my direction, the elderly detective whispers something into the younger man's ear. Before long, the younger detective turns toward me with a decidedly nonplussed expression. You're being released, it seems. Thanks for your cooperation. Why now, of all of a sudden? You're asking the wrong guy. Bye. With those parting words, the young detective leaves the room. The elderly detective watches him go and then faces me with a greasy smile. Well, sorry about that, Kasami-san. Seems we hadn't received any report on our end, and we're only just placed in contact with your guarantor. The detective stares at me with eyes like a dead fish. As an employee of Ichigaya, if you'd simply say it as much. If you'd known I was from Ichigaya from the start, wouldn't you have thrown me in jail, stripped me naked, and sprayed me down with a hose? You're quite the kidder. Did you forget that we belong to the unparalleled Sakura Daman? We're all friends here. Just to let you know, I'm nothing but a student. My work at Ichigaya is only a part-time cleaning job. Cleaning, is it? I see. That's well put. Just as I'd expect from your collection of eggheads. In response to my words, the detective twists his mouth into something vaguely resembling a smile. But really, now, if you'd simply informed us a little earlier about the circumstances on your end, well, as I'm sure you know, the higher-ups are what they are. We had quite the mess there for a moment. Sarcasm drifting from every pore of his body, the detective treats me with transparently insincere courtesy. He's perfectly civil on the superficial level, but the atmosphere in here is growing increasingly unpleasant. The younger detective from before, hard-ass that he was, seems infinitely preferable. Did you inquire to Qa'Rajh about me? Not quite. You see, we're running your name through our databases. In the middle of the data retrieval, the phone rings, we pick up the receiver and find we have a call from the Ministry of Defense's special organization, asking us, might you be in custody of a dog of ours? Well, now that was quite a surprise. We're not running an animal shelter here, you know what? Since you found my owner and confirmed that my leash is probably attached, I should be able to leave now, right? Yes, just as you please. Oh, that's right. We were also contacted by the principal of the school you're transferring into. That's so. Yes, indeed. Since you hadn't showed up, it seems she was putting in calls to all police stations in the area, one after another. Our chief ended up getting pulled up to the phone while he was in the middle of a meeting and got quite an earful, apparently. Where's my backpack? The luggage we've been holding on to you for you is in the entranceway, which would be over that way. If you'd like, we shall send you over by car. You're not getting funds from public taxes in order to chauffeur bums like me around, are you? I'll walk. After I'm urged out of the door by the old man, the young detective appears from the rear carrying the backpack they'd taken from me earlier. This is ridiculously heavy. What the heck is in this thing? Bit of a tough question. I guess you could say my life. If that's supposed to be a gag, I wouldn't quit your day job. That wasn't really what I was going for. Well, whatever. Dropping the backpack next to me, the detective lets out a slight sigh. Thanks for lugging it out here. Pretty heavy, isn't it? That's not something you say to a guy who learned judo for work. We might be country police, but we at least got that much training. True. Guess that's natural for a policeman. Sorry. The detective smiles wryly. By the way, you're supposed to be a student at that landfill academy, right? I'm wearing the school's uniform. You can see it at a glance. Feels more like you've been dressed up in it. He claps my shoulder as we pass another. Take care. In a lot of ways. I think that background sound is meant to be cicadas or something that I wouldn't know. They don't really they don't exist around here. So we have grasshoppers, but they are not that loud. I guess I don't make a convincing student yet. I'm wearing black slacks and a short-sleeved dress shirt, as well as a blue tartan check necktie. Excluding my somewhat longish hair, I should be the very image of a student. I guess it's a little difficult turning into something like that all of a sudden. But it's probably precisely because this is difficult that I've decided to give it a try. For a while, I myself didn't understand why I'd asked for this, but now I think I have a faint grasp on the reason. I wanted to become something that I couldn't understand, something that I wasn't. At the moment, I've done nothing but smooth down my edges a bit. Perhaps later on I'll become a student on the inside as well. The sun that had been climbing upward earlier has now finally reached its zenith. The temperature keeps on rising and sweat oozes from my skin. I was pretty sure she'd pick me up, but... Sensing a presence, I lower my gaze from the sun. My eyes, well accustomed to high contrast lighting, project a human form in silhouette for only the briefest of moments before the details fade in. Well, this was one of the faces from the option screen, so chances are she's going to be important. Now, I, having played this through twice and played the other parts of the Grisaia saga, know who this is, but let's just keep it on the don't know basis for now. Also, by the way, there's going to be a lot of female, so I'm going to give them fairly similar voices, if I remember it. Thank you for your service. A woman raising an awkward salute, grinning broadly, stands before my eyes. Spare me, I don't want to see a pose like that outside the workplace. In the first place, what's with the dopey salute? The girls in bikinis and maritime SDF recruitment posters have more impressive form. Jeez, and here I am offering my appreciation for your sudden efforts. I don't recall contributing enough to society today to deserve any appreciation. Yes, I do understand you went through a lot right off the bat, but could you not take it out on me? More importantly, she opens the door of the car stopped next to her. Get in. Accomplishing your objective is top priority, yes? Yeah, sure enough. From Mishima Cape Police Station to National Highway number 133 southbound, we proceed to the prefectural highway and advance further outward toward the Cape. A range of slowly rotating wind turbines come into view, indicating our proximity to the sea. That was quite the surprise. You don't show up at time, we agreed, and when I call around trying to figure it out, you're predictably being a nuisance to the police. I was half convinced you'd collapse somewhere given this heat. I doubt you really thought I was sick. What grounds do you have for saying that? You were trying the police stations first, not the hospitals. Well, it is as you were talking about. So I figured you'd manage something that if you were about to collapse. But for the record, I was worried about your safety, so maybe you could not pick at the details. Accuracy in weather forecast and interpersonal communication makes society run smoother. You are seriously not cute. Pouting again, she continues her harangue. First of all, there may not be many of them, but the trains do run here, yet for some reason you walk. That was also a surprise, walking around with a huge backpack like you were going to climb the Himalayas or something. Sorry, I hate trains. That doesn't make walking the entire way any less bizarre. What's the matter climbing up like that? Could you not mention this to the other students? I don't want them to get any funny ideas about me from the get-go. Yeah, this might well set them on guard. A real weirdo came this time. I got enough of that from the police to last me a while. So you did get questioned. Alright, we arrived. This is it. The car proceeded about 500 meters along an area of reclaimed coastal land before she brought it to a stop. So that's what he meant by landfill. I see. As I'm recalling the words of the detective from before, the woman continues our conversation with a suddenly cheerful tone. What do you think? Pretty nice, isn't it? It's the absolute newest school in the vicinity. Looks a bit more like a fortress with those kind of walls, but Very nice. Barely even looks like a school. Although I heard it was a new school, its external appearance generally isn't what I expected. A 3-story building, the pure white color of the outer walls is the only typical school-like element, with every other aspect more closely resembling a city office building. The gates to the right and left are less evocative of a school gate than a functional fence at some facility. The mounted signboard, likewise, is a utilitarian thing in a simple typeface rather than a hand-drawn work of calligraphy. Come on, this is your future alma mater. Where's the deep upswelling of emotion? I've only just arrived at this place. If I said I was deeply moved by the sight, it would be a lie. You are such a dull person. Human beings are creatures of imagination, you know. With an exaggerated sigh, she opens her hand wide in the overblown gesture of a third-rate actor. It's newly established, so the school might not have much of an image yet, but the students are nice, normal kids, and... No! Hey, where are you going? Her rigmarole is abruptly interrupted by the high-pitched shriek of 2 girls. Stop that! Machina! Hey, I said stop it already! Please, have mercy! There's another cicada there. Amani! Why are you running? Come play with the cute cicada! Bugs are the worst! Yeah! Take this! Get away! Help me! Laugh at me until you choke, huh, Machina? Don't think I will forget this. No snacks for you today! No way! Perfectly normal. Normal? Could you define that term? Is there a class where we chase each other around brandishing insects? That's not it. Neither of those girls are, well, you know. I don't think I do, but it's nice to see that it's a lively school. Right. Anyway, let's move on inside. Having apparently forgotten what she was planning to do with her outspread hands, she totters through the school gate. And I think that will be it for the first episode. So, we've met our antagonist, Kazami Yuji, and got a glance at what secrets and what past he have had. So, how will his school life be? Well, we shall see in the next episode. So until then, take care.